Says we're streaming.
Just gotta try and chat.
I just got the
Perfect, all
utilities.
right, we're in.
Okay, thank you very much, Annette. We will call to order the meeting of the PHSC. And we, on September 22nd at 3 o'clock, we have in front of us our agenda for the day.
Oh,
And the aliens are attacking.
that was me. I kicked myself out.
Oh, Dave.
Are you back in?
I'm back. I'm
Okay.
in. Yep. I never really went out. It just.
All right. Shelley, committee business. Approve our minutes. Approve our minutes from our last meeting.
Yeah, and the minutes should be September 10th, not August 17th. I did send the the September 10th minutes out to you all just a few moments ago, just so that you had them again.
Mr.
Right.
Chair, this
I'm
is
looking at
Commissioner
it now.
Freeling.
Yes.
I will either move or support. I don't know if Vorath beat me, but I would make that motion that we can approve the revised minute.
I'll second that.
All right. Do we need a roll call or can we do that by acclamation?
Yes, yes, Annette is nodding at me, so.
Yes.
Freeling, Volrath,
Yes.
Chickering.
Yes.
3 yeas, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. The next item is a couple of advanced step hire requests that have been submitted, first in the clerk's office and secondly in the health department. Let's do the clerk's office first. And any thoughts from the information submitted, Terry?
Mr. Chair, looking at the information submitted and knowing the importance of having that area in our clerk's office fully staffed, I'm supportive of this individual due to their experience that they have of moving forward with the advanced step based on the recommendation from our HR director.
Very good.
Huh?
Commissioner Volrath?
I'm good.
Okay, well, I am good also. Is that all we need?
No, actually, that was a Freeling Volrath motion, and now we'll call the roll.
That was exactly what it was, Shelley.
Yeah, we'll mix this up a little bit. We'll go with Volrath first.
Oh, gee. Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Chickering.
Oh, I was totally unprepared. Yes,
Okay, Mr. Chair, you have 3 yeas.
great. The next one is a advanced step hire request from the health department for their previously approved new role as communications specialist, I think it's called, but it's somebody to assist Jillian and the health department in all of the communications that are required around COVID. Dave, do you have thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Terry?
This is another one for me where I have reservations. I look at what we just approved with the clerk's office and what that step is and the duties for that. I also think that this is a newly defined classification for us. And I just have reservations to asking for an advanced step on this one.
Okay. Is that, well, I know you've had some consistent heartfelt objection to the patient record. And this is something that's attendant to that. But is your concern lack of qualifications of the individual or just that we ought to start people at the beginning, if I might?
Mr. Chair, I believe that my reservations due to not lack of qualification for this individual. They certainly have the merits that are there showing that they have moved themselves forward in the area of public relations and marketing. My reservation is totally with regards to the position itself.
Okay, all right, thank you, Terry. You've been very consistent and straightforward in your opinions, and I expect you to continue with
Thank
those.
you.
Okay. And I guess I will second Dave's motion, because I think personally, I believe that tracking is important. And I know the stress that Jillian is under to get this and all kinds of work done in the communications area. As Terry just mentioned, this woman comes to us with significant experience also in emergency communications. So I will support the advance.
Are we ready to call roll then for that motion?
Sure,
Chickering,
yes,
Borath,
Yes.
Freeling.
No,
Mr. Chair, you have 2 yeas, 1 nay.
okay, so we will advance that to the full board, correct?
No, these are PHSC motions, so they're all set now.
Yeah, I'm not accustomed to that much authority, that's great. Okay, very good, thank you, thank you. And Terry, your opinions are always very well thought out and thoughtful and helpful to us, so keep it up.
thank you.
Now we got to go through our resolutions. And we're just approving these to go to the full board on Thursday, right?
That is correct.
Okay. First one is to accept $156,000 first responders hazard pay premium program from the government, from the governor. Thoughts on that one, Dave?
Yeah, I'm reading it now. I don't have any problem accepting the money from them.
Terry?
I don't have any reservations with regards to moving this forward out of committee to the full board.
Good. I agree. I in particular like the final paragraph wherein we state the belief of the Board of Commissioners that there are others within Berrien County who are equally deserving of this kind of treatment. And I guess I would, maybe tomorrow in discussion, if it's all right with you two, I will beg the question whether we shouldn't be doing a formal resolution requesting that kind of thing. And I guess I'd like your thoughts on that one, Brian.
I believe we've done it twice already.
Oh, have we a formal resolution?
Yes.
Yep, I have no problem with continuing for the Board of Commissioners to beat that drum. I know that the moment this application for CARES Act funding was signed and submitted, I knew that a conversation would be coming about equity. And you do have a variety of staff who have worked throughout the COVID pandemic who are absolutely in harm's way, who will not qualify for this funding. Now, with that said, the conversations I've had with department heads is, don't blame the Board of Commissioners, they didn't write the legislation. And this is one where the state of Michigan pushed forth legislation that provides this funding to the first responders, and unfortunately, a whole lot of people were not given the same credit. Now, with that said, I would recommend that you move forward with it. We do have law enforcement that have been working directly with COVID positive patients, and we've had some real risks that these folks have taken on.
Okay. I certainly agree with that, Brian. Thank you. I'm still a little unclear because when we first heard about this, there was, I think, a general discussion about talking to legislators or petitioning the governor or, and I'm unclear on what we have done formally.
So, so just to back up, we've got two resolutions that have been adopted by the board, both of which have been forwarded to the appropriate members of the legislature representing Marion County, both just showing that the board has expressed support for all of your frontline workers. I have no problem with bringing a third resolution, and I'm happy to request a phone conversation with Rep. Wenzel, Rep. Paquette, and Senator Lasada, so that PHSC can have a more direct pipeline.
It sounds like we've already tried. Are we kicking a sleeping dog here?
Not necessarily. Senator Lasada spent a couple hours with us last week on tax foreclosure issues. She seemed very engaged, and honestly, she seemed very curious to learn more about how that issue affects the county. Asking for a 15-minute Zoom call on this issue, I think is appropriate. So,
Okay. All right.
doesn't bother me a bit. I will happily follow up with that request.
Okay. Is that all right, Terry, Dave?
Yes.
Yes, I think that that would be a well-spent effort.
Got it.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Now we've got some monumentation resolution.
Yes, 328 and 327 are resolutions that are done every year in accordance with our remonumentation program. They name the peer group members who review the work of the surveyors, and they name the firms qualified to perform the work under the remonumentation grant from the state.
Okay. You guys have any thoughts on those?
I have any problems with any of them? I don't see anybody I recognize except John.
All right. Terry?
I was wondering if I was muted still. No, I don't have any problem with that. It looks like usual members that are appointed to that.
Okay. So do we need to vote on these, or we just have agreement that the committee pushes them to the full board with approval?
Yes, the agreement that the committee moves them forward with approval by the full board.
Okay, and I think we got that, right, team?
That's correct.
Great. Okay, we're rolling now. Animal control. I think from my perspective, we could spend a lot of time talking about all the great stuff Tiffany has done for our animal control department after we all experienced weekly haranguings about it. I think that sounds like she's got the volunteers and the events and everything up to a level where I certainly believe we can employ a full-time volunteer and event coordinator. Jerry, how do you feel about it?
Mr. Chair, I certainly feel like we've seen year after year that this position in its temporary status has been more than worth what the county has paid. I think it is worth the further conversation of turning this into a full-time position.
Okay. Dave?
Yeah, I think it's a valuable spot that we need to support Tiffany on.
Okay. I think that's 3 yeas to move it to full commission.
Okay.
Is that the swim?
Yeah, the Swimba resolution, which is
I wasn't sure if we're moving on to the next. I just wanted to get staff's thought on that, Shelley, in particular with regards to the full-time for animal control. Is she supportive of that?
oh, I'm sorry. Are we? Go ahead. Okay, yes, I'm very much in support of the creation of the full-time position. It will allow more flexibility at the animal control department and cross-training opportunities because this person now is a full-time position. If there's not a specific event going on, would have time to help with, you know, licensing and other things like that. Where before Tiffany was not really using that position that way because she wanted to save the hours that she had specifically for volunteers and for the special events. So I think it's going to be a great help to the office also, besides for continuing the really good work that this person has done in recruiting volunteers, training volunteers, scheduling volunteers, and then all the special events.
Thank you. I appreciate your input.
Yes, thanks, Shelley.
Yeah.
Good. Because we don't want to do anything that our professional thinks we should be doing. She guides us every step of the way. All right, Swimba. Are either of you on the Swimba board?
No,
Eric Meeks, okay. This is obviously something we've been doing since 2013. So this ought to finish out the decade. Any thoughts up or down from you, Terry?
you know, it would be interesting to get some input from those members that serve on this particular board of their thoughts on this Swimba experience for them. But I think it's worth us moving it out of committee to the full board so we can have that discussion.
Good point. Good point. Dave?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we hear about Swimba every so often. But okay, yeah, let's move it on and we can have input from our expert commissioners on Thursday.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
may I ask on that if our administrator or anyone staff-wise in the room might have some input on that?
What was that again, Terry? Sorry.
With regards to Swimba and that resolution, is it mostly just formality? Is there any input that you could to give this committee?
Go ahead.
Yes, this is just a renewal of the intergovernmental agreement that you have with all the other counties that are all part of this region. That's what the contract is for. And we had a date change that needed to happen that was incorrect on it originally, which is what delayed it a little bit. But Dwayne's reviewed this, and this is just the same, you know, the same contract that we've used.
Okay, thank you.
great. Thanks, Terry. All right, Shelley, what's next?
Any other committee business that you all may want to bring forward? Otherwise, you've satisfied the agenda. Oh, public comments, obviously, before we adjourn.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Dave, do you have anything you'd like to bring up?
I don't have anything at this time.
Terry?
No, sir.
Okay, well, we can't get off that easy. I asked Shelley to forward to you, and I think we got it in our emails this afternoon, a draft complaint appeal process is what it's titled. And it is intended as a kind of a working process for the three of us to use if and when we get complaints through the complaint policy and our personnel policies, particularly ADM 1070. The master personnel policy really only talks about the steps that are taken to appeal by employees. It doesn't deal at all with what we will do if an appeal comes to us. So you may or may not remember, we had a request for an appeal from an employee back at the beginning of this year. And that all got strung out because of COVID. I don't even know where it stands anymore. But at that time, I worked with Shelley and Bill to a certain extent, Bill Wolf, and John DeWayne to craft what you see in front of you now. I guess what I'd like to say is I'd like both of you, as well as Brian, because this may be new to you, to look this over and give me any input you might have. Because secondly, we do currently have a request for an appeal hearing in front of PHSC from a county employee. And I don't want to go into the details of that at this point, but I think we need to be prepared sometime, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, to convene a meeting with the employee and supervisor, et cetera, and conduct a discussion pursuant to what was forwarded to you today. So is that clear like mud?
Sure.
Absolutely clear as mud.
Who sent that information to us?
I did, Shelley did.
Okay,
So unfortunately, that's what we lawyers do.
okay.
Brian, any thoughts?
Yeah, I would ask that as you get closer to the date of your meeting, as chair, you might want to give some thought to having that session in person.
Yes. Yes, I did. Very, very much so would want to do that.
Yep, so from our perspective, we'll do whatever PHSC needs as far as providing space, providing accommodations. If there's a need for PPE or anything like that, we will work with you to make those accommodations, and then make sure that you've got an opportunity to have enough time with the individual in an atmosphere that's as comfortable as possible.
Great.
Because that's personnel, that would be closed type session, wouldn't it? Would it?
It's interesting you asked that, Commissioner Volrath. I had the same thoughts because in the policy, it talks that it has to adhere to the Open Meetings Act.
Oh, will they get the opportunity to request it, or can we do that?
Thank you. That was an issue I talked to Judge DeWayne about. It will be an open meeting unless the employee asks for it to be a closed meeting.
Okay,
If they ask, then it will be closed, not open to the public.
okay,
That will be a question that I will be asking the employee as this scheduling unfolds.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Freeling. How would you like feedback on this policy? If we have any input in the draft form that it's in?
Send me an email.
Okay. Better than smoke signals.
Or, if there's something that you'd like to talk about, I'm perfectly willing to spend the time on the phone too, Terry. You know that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
What was that?
Sounds like a submarine.
Sorry, not my phone.
Okay. Shelley, you okay with all that?
Certainly.
Okay. I have no other. Brian, anything you'd like us to discuss?
Sir, I wanted to make you all aware, our clerk is going to be thrilled with today's decisions. Just so this group is aware, I know the Chainer team are under a lot of stress as well as a lot of scrutiny. And in addition to lining up ballots and trying to keep her whole staff fully trained and actually physically available for work, she's also facing some challenges in what she anticipates will be an upcoming recount. So we are trying to work with Clerk Tyler to secure some additional space if and when that recount occurs, ensuring that she's got a secure space that has heat, bathrooms, and proper site security. So tomorrow we'll get you more of an update on that topic, but just wanted this group to be aware that's probably going to be one of the tougher jobs in the county, at least as we get into November.
And it occurs to me, Brian, I know there are volunteer roles in the election process and poll watchers, et cetera, et cetera. Is there ways that people could volunteer to help Sharon in particular, or?
I'll ask. I'm not sure, but she's going to be attending tomorrow's full board meeting, and I've asked her just to plan to offer some thoughts and updates to the board.
Okay. Good. All right. Good work to get out in front of. I know there's lots of lawyers getting ready.
When are they?
Oh, boy. And you
Correct
guys-
me if I'm
Sorry,
wrong.
sorry, Bill.
And you guys want to stay in government. Okay.
He lobbed one in there.
Thank God for you guys.
Oh, goodness. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Today is Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm
You
skipping
got
a
me
day.
a little scared, Brian.
Yeah, you're right.
We'll have 2 days to get ready for that discussion. So, anything else?
I just ask-
Public comments?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Comment?
You do have one person watching, and they just said thank you for having it available, and they didn't have any comments, so we're good there. Am I okay
Thank them
with
for
the
not having.
fixing, with the fixing your
Really bored with
signatures
it,
to
right?
these resolutions then?
Good. I think we're set.
Cool.
Thank you all for your hard work. We appreciate it.
Really
Thank you.
painless. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.